Nebraska Mountain Sports Center and the U.S. Biathlon team, and I'm here to do a quick demo of a few tips and tricks I've learned for summer training to make summer training smooth and to protect your body a little bit. It's going to be a fast video, and these are just a few things that I like to do and I wanted to share now that I've done a few summers of Dryland, and I think you'll enjoy these. Let's get started. First things first, it's pretty hot. The summer has had heat wave after heat wave, and one of the things I always do is use a drink mix. I find a drink mix that has calories within it, not just electrolyte, helps especially on those longer workouts. I personally love this brand, Carbo Rocket. They're from a bunch of bike nerds in Salt Lake City, and they have formulated a great drink mix that I've never had cramps, I never bonk anymore, and I can last all day. They make a series of uncaffeinated, caffeinated, recovery, pre-race, during, long, short, all of that. Leading right in, I always use water or a water bottle during a workout. I find it's way easier to clean if you are using drink mix than the typical bottle belt with the tankard in it. And I use this with every single workout, no matter what length or duration of the workout. I'm always carrying this to stay hydrated. It's critical when you're out there doing this for 20 hours a week. Along the lines of hydration, I always carry a big gallon jug of water in my truck. This is in case I forget to fill up my bottle before the workout, or I'm coming in and I want to refuel, or when I have a recovery drinks after the workout. I prefer this big glass jug. It was an apple cider jug from a few falls ago. That way it can sit nice and hot in the car, never tastes like plastic, easy to clean again. I'm a big fan of easy to clean. And then you can always stay hydrated. So the number one thing is staying hydrated. Having a drink mix, always carrying water, and having resupply available if needed. Continuing down the line of fueling, I always carry a huge pile of granola bars in the truck at all times, and in my water belt I always stock up on a few. Even if I never touch them during any particular session, I always have extras and I always carry them with me. I find you never know quite when you're gonna bonk, or you didn't eat enough breakfast, or you wake up hungrier than you thought and you ate your normal breakfast. I always look for the sale items for the Granola Bars. That's my go-to right now. But you can find any bar that works for you. Some like Go Macro, some like the Cliff Bar, some like anything. But always having the reserve on hand is critical. Again, I like to just stock my truck, and I always stock up my water belt or my running vest or my backpack, whatever it is. Granola bars are everywhere. My life jacket when I'm kayaking. And I always leave it stocked after the workout so that the next workout I don't have to think about it beforehand. The next thing, since we're talking a lot about what I keep in my truck at all times during a workout, is I carry a little bit of a med kit specifically designed for road rash or blisters. I call it my splat kit, just in case you do have a crash. Luckily this year, I haven't had any, but in the past I've lost quite a lot of skin, especially on that Soldier Hollow roller track. It's nice to grab the cracks. But I carry band-aids, tape, gauze, ibuprofen, some of the pressure syringes. I have plenty of water on hand, and that way, no matter what, you can always get back to your vehicle and immediately deal with what happened. The faster you can deal with the injury, the better you'll heal. The cleaner it will be, and the better you'll be able to get back on the road training again. So again, I like to just keep a quick little grab and go kit in my truck, and it's really easy to then always have it on hand. And if I use up stuff, I fill it up beforehand so I know it's there and I don't have to think about it. The next thing is when I'm out training. I personally have struggled a lot with tendinitis in my elbows. You're out there pounding pavement up to 50-60% of the time you're out training. And that's a lot of stress on your tendons in your elbows. Especially your elbow and your shoulders are some of the most complicated and delicate joints in your body. But we're out there pulling hard and all the time, especially if you're doing a lot of volume. One trick I found is to carry 2 sets of poles. These are both skate poles. They're exactly the same length, but one is a step down or maybe even 2 steps down from a race pole. And the reason is it's quite a bit softer. I can flex this pole quite easily, and when I'm out just doing a distance workout, I don't need perfect delivery of power into the pavement through my arms. And this saves my elbows. I found I can go for a huge amount of volume on poles that are less than race poles, just a step down or 2, not sacrificing performance in any way. And then I have a pair of race poles that are truly the stiff poles, in my case with Matsus. And these I use for intensity sessions or speed work, where I really want to have that good technique. I want to have full power delivery. I want to have the effect of the workout be beneficial on me, but I don't need to do that all the time. And in some cases, especially come the fall when the pavement gets a little colder and harder, I'll warm up with the softer pulls, do the intensity with the stiff pulls, really get the technique and the power out of it, and then go back to the soft pulls. And that's helped me a ton staying prepared so in my truck with all of my gear inventory to avoid that tendonitis. Similarly, we have poles that have a wear item. The pole tips are constantly an issue. If you've ever been somewhere that has new pavement or that nice blacktop ceiling, your poles bounce all the time and it's incredibly frustrating. I love to keep my pole tips pretty sharp and never let them get too dull. One of the easiest ways I found is a little tiny Dremel with the little green diamond bit. This was $19.99 at Walmart. It's a little battery pack. You can charge it up and just leave it in your vehicle. And then you have this at all times. I never let my poles get to the point where I really need to work on them more than one battery life. But then I can always have sharp pole tips, especially again when you come to the fall season, when the pavement's harder, or you get to that fresh pavement that's real smooth, real hard. I love having the proper equipment to maintain my equipment, and then you always have a beneficial workout. Part of your equipment is your body, maintaining your elbows or your hydration, all of that. The next thing, maintaining our body, that I like to do is carry 2 pairs of boots per technique as well. And obviously this isn't necessarily needed if you're not roller skiing too much, but if you are roller skiing a ton and you've had a few years to accumulate equipment, I often find that race boots, in my case, the Matsus Redline 3.0s, that are 100% carbon and almost no padding, not only are they a little bit cold in the winter, they're extremely high performance because they're so stiff. But that often hurts my feet a little bit on a 3 or 4 hour roller ski, especially if you're doing a lot of it during the week, week after week. And so again, similar to poles, I have a step down. I have the Race Pros right here. This is not an ad for Matsus. I do personally love them. But I have the Race Pros. They're nice and padded. They're a little bit hot in the summer, but that way I never get that irritation on my heel where the carbon rubs, or the ankle bite where a little bit of tightness around the cuff. That never bothers me during a race, but will bother me when I start doing 10, 15 hours of roller skiing per week, week after week. Still have a good stiff carbon cuff. You want some performance. You don't want to have a boot that just gives away under the ski. But having some options that if your feet start to hurt or your elbows start to hurt, you can just take the edge off of it and continue training at a high level. And then again, for intensity sessions, I'll use a high performance boot, really get the power out of my legs, transferred through the ski right into the pavement, or in some cases the snow. And even in winter, I will use these if I'm doing a long distance ski. They're warmer and they're a little bit more comfortable for a couple hours skiing. So these are just a few of the things I've learned over the years of Dryland to help maintain an effective Dryland season where you're comfortable, you recover well, you hydrate and fuel great during the session, and if you get hurt, you can deal with it. You avoid injury, you have good equipment maintained, including your body. And I find it's led to some pretty good success in the Dryland season, more comfortable and more fun, especially during these heat waves or in the fall when the pavement gets nice and hard. Thanks so much for watching. I hope these are useful. I'd love to hear your tips and tricks that you have learned. You can look in the comments for my email address. See you on the trails.